Right, so if you were here last year, you'll know what this is all about. We did this a bit in Germany as well. I'm just going to have a chat about some things and then we'll do some Q&A afterwards and direct all your questions to Gordon because he doesn't want to be involved. I think you've seen most of that lot.
Oh, it's a tsunami wave.
That is the tsunami. That was the end of last year. It's just a few of the bits that were in 2025. Had a really good year, I think. There was a lot. We did talk about this a bit in Germany, but I know people have been worried about just how much is coming out, trying to keep up with purchases, trying to keep up with having full factions. It's not going to be like that all the time. You'll find that amongst the waves as we're going on, like the one we've got over here with the Onisho box, those boxes that have been out for pre-release will start showing up in the waves, so there won't be 6 in every wave anymore. There'll only be 4 or whatever it is. So that will kind of start slowing down as we have to fill gaps with stuff that you've already seen. So don't worry, we're not actually increasing what we're doing. It just seems that way at the moment. So that was last year. That was the tsunami wave of last year. We really want to show you a few of the things that's coming up this year, and also have a bit of a chat about some of the things that we've been asked already. We did get some pre-things, so we're going to talk about some of the problem solving that we've done amongst the development team and the problems that we've had and how we've solved them. And then at the end, we're going to give you some profiles that are coming up and see if you can help us solve some other problems. So, what have we got? So, you've probably seen this one as well. This is the Ito Cold Ones, as Gordon calls it. It's not actually called that. It never was. It was Old Ones, and then we changed it to Cold Blooded, but it then somehow became Cold Ones every time we discussed it.
But it is actually just called Ito Cold Blood.
Or the box, or
yeah,
the theme.
The box.
So this is the Cold-Blooded themed warband box, which is what it is. It says so. First thing importantly, this was designed by Andy. Legendary game designer of Goat Song. Andy did, I think, the 4 female Ito samurai before this, and this was a box that he did all by himself. And I think it's important because I've been doing everything before that, but having more voices makes more variety, more interesting things. I think the more people involved in making even just the profiles part, not to mention the sculpts and the art and the stories and things, the more people it should appeal to. So hopefully this will add something very different that I wouldn't have come up with on my own, and lets you play something a bit different but in the same game, which is good. You get a whole new theme in there, which you've already seen. It does add more stuff for the Blessed theme as well. You can put some things in there. But one of the things that it's a problem it's solving is that as you go on, if you just make more and more stuff, the game just gets bloated, and eventually you go, well, this is just another Ito Samurai. What are we going to do with this? We've done everything we want to do, so now we're just making them for the sake of it. Instead of doing that, we've gone for what we call breadth rather than, what do I call it? Depth. That basically means rather than just making more and more of the same things, we've tried to make something a bit different. So this is the Jade Witch opening the old temples to Orochi from before the Ito got there. So we're adding whole new concepts to factions rather than just adding more of the same stuff that we've already got. So this we can look at that on a different faction, maybe explain it a bit. Prefecture, it's everybody's favourite because they have the most different types of profiles. So yeah, mostly there's 3 things in Prefecture, and to be fair, one of them is very very poorly represented, let's say. So there's a lot of samurai, there's a lot of Ashigaru, there's some Shisai, and what we could have done was just make more and more of those. You know, there's nothing to stop us just saying, oh, you know, once you've got Armour 3, Bravery and Prowess 1, we can just roll a dice and find some more random traits to add on, and that's a Prefecture Samurai, right? Ah, did I miss one?
Yeah.
No. But instead of that, obviously they had a dragon for a while, but we can look into the dragon part of the faction and say, hey, why instead of doing a samurai, let's add a dragon in. And the Hare Clan, which is not a box set, but they get a model for that every so often, and eventually there'll be enough you could field a whole warband of them, especially because they have dogs. Which is a separate thing to everything else. So what we're doing is we're expanding what you can take in the faction rather than just making more and more. It does mean that if somebody just plays Prefecture, they don't feel obligated to buy it because they don't think, oh, I might need that samurai for a warband. And equally, you could just buy the Hare Clan and think, I don't need the rest of it. And so it's giving people options, and it's not just generating more profiles for the sake of it. And we did the same thing. We've got the Passing the Night, Heavenly Dragon Guards, or She Samurai. Could even do the Samurai Clan. We've not done anything with that yet. The Salamander Clan. Not done anything with that yet, but that's a possibility. And that's something else that would just broaden the appeal. And maybe they wouldn't have anything else in there. You might not mix them up, but you could have a full Salamander box or a warband made up of blisters that we release over time. So. So similarly, you can think of how we did it for Temple with the Foxes. The Foxes were an add-on for Temple, but if you wanted to play just monks, you didn't have to buy them because you're crazy or something. But equally, you could just buy the Foxes and not bother with the monks and peasants and animals and things. All the factions are getting these kind of things. Probably think of it for most of the factions what they're getting. Obviously the themes are a good guide to what the sub-factions are, and then the later theme boxes are adding extra things. Usually that's adding in whole extra sub-factions which are increasing the breadth of the faction. So that's something you can do within a faction to accomplish this. But there is another way of doing it, which is to do it to the game itself. So we've done Kinshi. Instead of just adding more to every faction, we've added a whole faction, but we've said, that's it. There's going to be a limited faction. So Kinshi aren't going to get many more models, but we've focused on making them, with the fewer models that they've got, a cool box. They're very narrative as well. They've had quite a few stories in the blurbs, added a bit to the lore of the game. But we've all seen Kinshi. They've been out for years now. So we're going to have another look at a different limited faction that's going to come out with just a box and a blister. Maybe have some Ronin, probably Celestials, because everybody loves them.
Tenbatsu.
So, I think that's been up elsewhere previously. Yeah, this is the Pony Club faction.
Unfortunately, that's not the name we've gone for them.
That's the. I think that's the more detailed one. The one that's going on the card is actually got less detail than that, but that's the cool one that we can use for things like this. That's cool. I heeded that.
Some high quality PowerPoint right there.
What, no cross dissolves?
Yeah. Decided against the spinning.
Right, so so they're going to be a limited faction, similar to Kinshi. They're going to be released with a box and a blister, and that will be it for some time. We're not planning on releasing any more, but that doesn't mean we can't. We're quite happy to do some more. We've had a couple of more Kinshi since we released them. So there's going to be a theme box to begin with. Be at some show or other it'll come out, and an additional blister.
If only there were a show coming up that had Cavalry as its theme.
Yeah. And some limited amounts of Ronin, which I think some people have already seen who's in it. There's 2 existing Ronin that are joining. And there might be some Celestials eventually. The first one that I wanted in there isn't getting in anymore, but there will definitely be some as we go along. There's no reason for him to get left out. That's just blank.
Okay.
So I don't know. I honestly don't know which art we've seen and which we haven't. Is it?
Yeah. Goes on to the list of spoilers. He's got a long sword.
I'm sure he has. That's a Yari, but
I can't see. He could have a long sword too. You don't know. He's got a long sword.
so important things about these guys is the hats. They all have cool hats. All of them will have hats that are enhancement cards, and the models will have options to put them on with or without the hats. In fact, Gordon might know. Where is he?
He's over at the back.
Hiding. Are we actually getting the magnets with these or not? Or the space for magnets at least?
There is space for magnets.
Yeah, so these will have a...
So just for the mic's purpose, yeah, the heads are going to be interchangeable. They've been done in such a way that it's sort of the whole head with a little bit of the sort of torso that is interchangeable, and there'll be a slot inside for a magnet. It has been shown kind of the way we're planning on doing it in one of the black books, but yeah, it should be cool.
Does changing the head change anything?
Well, yeah, the hat's an enhancement.
Ah, okay.
enhancement equipment.
Enhancement.
You can have that one gratis. The next one I'll charge you.
How many is that?
It's 5 so far. One more.
6. There's an additional blister.
Yeah, so there's 5 in the box and an additional blister. The 5 in the box do make 100 rice warband. So one of the things we found with the Kinshi especially was the Kinshi opened up a lot with the second theme list that we released, which we released for them in the cycle deck. We've done it since then with a few of the theme boxes, putting 2 themes in the box. We've kind of got it worked out now. If it's something like this where it's a limited faction, or if it's a new whole faction, it's quite a good idea to put 2 themes in the box so you've got different ways to play them immediately. Whereas the Kinshi, we put 1 in, and there was basically a list to play for a while. And they eventually got the second theme, and now there's a good 3 or 4 lists actually you can play with Kinshi. So yeah, with such a limited amount, it's a good to have the special cards in there. 2 themes is almost necessary. They're going to get a bunch of special cards for the faction as well, and they can use running special cards to bulk it out basically and have it all that amount of options that you want. Oh yeah, this is the one. So that's that guy again, but he's got cavalry charge.
Everyone lean forward.
You're going to be bringing opera glasses next year. So
He can read it to you.
Will you?
Will he? Yeah, it's actually...
this one represents a proper, like a heavy cavalry charge where they just form up and go straight at you, and you get hit by millions of tons of horse. I don't know how much horses weigh. They don't fit in my bathroom scales. So go on, I'll tell you what it says. The first charging friendly samurai that causes a fear test gains terror and dread 1. Once per game, declare this in the starting phase. Until the end phase, friendly models treat a cavalry move as a move instead of a walk. That's a bit technical, but I'm sure you'll all work it out. Whenever a friendly model declares a run, it gains a key token, and you must recruit a curse card into the warband. So that represents like just a straight up cavalry charge like you would with heavy cavalry. And then we've got hit and run, which is the more light cavalry side of things. Go on then. When a charge attack damage roll kills an enemy model, the charging samurai can make a walk equal to its move. Once per game in the starting phase, until the end phase, friendly models can use their cavalry trait before and after the action. the first time each turn a friendly model is successful on a charge attack roll, that model suffers half damage from any damage roll in the same melee exchange. So if you just want to put everything into attack, you'll just a scratch whatever your opponent does. And again, you must recruit a cursed card into this warband. So hopefully you can see from that, they're two nice top-down themes, two different ways of using cavalry. That's neither of which were how samurai employed their cavalry, but that's not important. The hit and run or the big cavalry charge.
Tap the sign again. Jwar is not Japan.
Yeah. Hang on, I'll leave that up for a minute. Oh, where are we? There we go. So yeah, that's something that we learned from Kinshi to do that with, but it's all part of making more little things to do rather than making people just keep buying more and more of the same thing to make sure you've got the best thing for your warband. Yeah, well, I think you saw it, so we're going to have a stop there. Have we got any questions on that bit first?
So,
And do you want me to put the thing back up?
you said in every new theme box for like new factions, there's going to be 2 themes. Am I missing a card from my Imperial Legion?
Not everyone is going to have it. So Imperials and Awoken,
Yeah.
because they haven't got anything else, might end up with like multiple theme boxes, which will build up their both their special cards and their themes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate hesitation. Did you deliberately decide to make these sort of limited release because you know that you'll get more people buying them if you just make it a box and one blister? Then how much more tempting?
No, it's only limited as in it's a limited faction, same as Kinshi. We like I say, we could
Yeah, there's more.
we could do more, but yeah, I mean we're not gonna like do them. There's only 100 boxes, so first 100 people have to buy them or anything. So.
When's this set to come out? This theme box.
If only there were a show which cavalry were its theme. Yeah, Salute in April is highly likely when this... Obviously, we can't say anything for absolute certainty, but our plans are to release this for pre-release at Salute in April.
With only 100 boxes in the first
Exactly. If you're not there on the day, you'll never be able to play them.
So you can see how this translates to every other faction as well. So if you're playing something like Temple and you're wondering why we keep releasing things that are not monks, that's why, because I think we've got quite a lot of monks. There are more to come. We're definitely doing some more monks. We're going to have a look at one in a minute.
There's months next?
But,
More 8 months again.
Yeah, this is one of the things that people have said. What are we going to do about bloat? This is what we're going to do. We're going to go wide instead of just do more and more of the same.
Can I ask also, narratively, are these aligned with any of the current factions and houses, or are they their own separate?
They are a full faction. They've got a faction symbol. In Joie, they are a major clan. But they have always traditionally supported whoever was the ruling clan. So they were on the Shiho side in the Dragon Wars, but they now support the Takashi.
So they are
Opportunists.
Are they
So-
mercenaries, or are they...
No, they're just the Takashi have replaced the Shiho, so the Shiho must have lost the mandate of heaven. So they're now loyal to the new regime.
Okay.
Sorry? They definitely were. The ninjas did kill all of their horses, and they were not happy about that. That's the big question.
Do they all have Vengeance Ninja?
The horse does.
I think they got them from the...
Yeah, only the horses. Yeah.
Got them from a livestock market.
So yeah, we're going to talk about a different problem that we've recently come up with. I mean, it happens all the time, but in the playtest, mostly the alpha testers group. So we've got some models coming up, which are sort of thematically linked in the narrative, and we want to make them thematically linked in the game. But we don't want them to be like the princesses, where you've got to take them all. And we don't want them obviously to be all the same, because then you know, why make 4 of them? So we've got some Jung Marines. This one is not one of them. This is the Commodore's first mate, or Junin. So all those people waiting for Mitsukurina, there's a different one coming first. But the Commodore is a very strict captain and runs their ship much more like a military than the others do. Like Hibiki, I mean, he just passes out rum. I mean, that's his job as far as he knows. And it just happens to work out for him, and he steals all the people's stuff. Marie is obviously the one favoured by the sea itself, and the Kami all like her. Whereas the Commodore is the stern. She's also from the generation before. I think she's their aunt or something like that. So she's the older, stern disciplinarian. And she keeps a group of Marines on board, which the rest of the Jung don't have. They just get the sailors to beat people up. But Marines, basically, they don't know anything about how the boat works. They know where to get food and where to sleep, and they don't know what these ropes are for, and the sail's just in the way. But once you start fighting, you want some Marines. That's their job. And let's have a look. So these people, yeah, like I said, they don't do any work except under arms, so they just fight. We've got a new crab, so she will go nicely with the other crabs and with these Marine group. People have seen that one before, but I think that's my favourite one. I don't know what she's going to do, but she's got a bunch of octopuses.
She should get Indomitable 16.
That one's got a shark tooth oar, which is a Pacific Islanders style weapon. Very good for tearing skin apart, and that's another good one. There's lots of like hints about where this person's from in the artwork, and it's going to be interesting to see people try and work out the story for them. So, what's the problem that we found? We need to make these 4 models as part of a group, something to identify them as part of a group, something to keep them connected, so that you can say, oh yeah, these are obviously part of these Marines because they all have whatever in common. But they also obviously need to be individuals, because otherwise there's no point making 4 of them, and the Jung players will really complain if we release 4 different characters all with the same profile card. Yeah, obviously they need to work with the Commodore who's already out, and the Junin who's in playtest at the same time. And we don't want you to have to take them all, but that's obviously a good possibility, and they should work together if you do. So they're not like the Princesses and Blood Brothers. They're going to be completely separate people that you can use on their own. This is the next bit. So we're looking at another problem that we've come up with, which is over complexity. And as an example for this one, we're going to look at a Void Monk, a new one. And everybody has got it wrong. You guessed wrong. This is a Temple Void Monk. Because Temple needed more stuff.
Yeah.
Where's all the constructs, man? We got 3 without.
So basically, there's nothing wrong in Temple. You can be a monk and have the Void element. Currently, only Tsutsumi and Masters have the Void. But we're going to have a character whose first element that they learned is the Void, which is a bit dangerous sometimes. If you've read the story for Hotaru, you'll know that she learned fire first. She was naturally a fire monk. And that's really affected how she sees the world, how she acts, how she learns to be a monk, and why she just runs in and just does whatever comes to mind rather than, ever thinking about anything ever. Having Void as your first one is obviously very dangerous, because if a different temple finds you, let's not mentioning any names, then you could end up going down the wrong route, and that's not good for the balance. But there's nothing wrong. Tsutsumi probably learned Void first, and he got old, which is good, I think. And he's been a productive guitar player ever since. But yeah, this feat The idea is you can, if you've seen, there's this niche movie out there which not a lot of people have seen. A bit of a series of movies, really. It's called Marvel Cinematic Universe. The ancient one can hit people and knock their soul out of their body, and that's basically what this is supposed to represent. And we've tried a few different things. I don't think this is even the final version that we've tried. We've got one where you hit somebody and it makes a void coming behind them to represent the person's soul. We've got this one, which is, we had a separate destructible terrain piece, and then there was another one where it was actually a model and would run off. But the idea is that if you can't catch it and put it back in the person, then they get a big penalty until you can. So it's a really cool idea, and we've all seen the film. It looks cool as well, and you can imagine that thematically when you're doing it in game, which is always good. But it's been too complex. This is probably as simple as it's been, but it doesn't quite capture what we wanted for it. So yeah, we were going to ask if anybody's got ideas for this, about how to simplify the idea to make it go. Go is a word, the verb for anything. We don't need that. So hopefully I've explained that all right. But it's another thing. If you want to talk about it now, we can, or you can write it on the back of the bits of paper. So if GCT were to make a competitive terrain pack, so that you could basically buy it, it's full of terrain. You could just put it. You got your mat. You've got your terrain pack. That's it. You've got enough to play a tournament style game. What would we want in it?
You would have to have spooky graveyard, difficult ground, spooky graveyard.
So
no, not themed, but it would have to be.
No Tory gates, please.
No Tory gates.
Just overdone.
Ideal terrain.
No.
There's 7 pieces of ideal terrain.
Yeah.
You play Minamoto. Sorry?
No German classic terrain pass tokens called clear zero neutral. No, normal clear zero. What's that?
It's nothing.
One of them should be like a flat thing that is just a crack in the ground, because there is so much shit that comes up through the ground now. There's spiders, there's goblins, there's oni. They all break through and make it. It's not obscuring or blocking, but you can't walk over it. So it's literally a hole in the floor.
We had a week-long argument at Modiphius when we were doing Elder Scrolls game about why you could jump over a wall but not a chasm in the rules. So, well, that's a good start. I think I don't know who said that, but I think that's a really good start. How many pieces of terrain would be in the pack?
9.
Is someone suggesting the number 9, or is that just a German saying they don't want to talk about this?
I would say 12. 12.
I think 9 is
Because you want a piece for each faction.
because 6 is the minimum, so 7's not enough. Because if you're playing with a ninja, like they're gonna get 8, right?
So,
Themed terrain.
Yeah, 3.
Themed terrain.
9 is good. Come on, 1.
well, we're already doing the faction packs of terrain. So,
Could there be like preset?
If it's 40. Absolutely.
Has anyone got any questions?
No, good. Where's under stress?
What's the character that became a fast side?
Okay, the
BF.
plans for the campaign book. When?
There are plans, yes.
No, but when's?
No, they're in now.
Oh.
We've got the plans now.
Yes.
The plans are in place.
And can you share them?
No.
Okay, that's what I needed to know.
Okay, I get one cell height and one construct. I'm like, I just want the temple.
It is currently being reviewed by our development team.
The Golden Legion, like straight away. I was like,
Got our best men on it. Yes, top men are on the job. Any other questions? I sense a theme occurring here.
Everybody wants to know.
we refer the honourable gentleman to the answer we gave a moment ago.
Who's Ken?
New website is live. If anyone's missed it, new website is live. campaign book is currently being reviewed by.
Specialist lawyer in Indianapolis. Ken, that is.
Yeah, no,
You drive in and those big billboards. It's like Paul Ken.
the campaign book is currently in review with the development team, going through it and kind of a final pass, I think, at this stage.
As far as I know, it's Ben doing layout, so they're making it fit.
Yes, yeah.
I just thought it was a joke. Like everybody mentions, like, oh, campaign book. I'm like, that's not a thing.
No, the law book is done and laid out. I think it's pretty well known that the idea is that the law book and campaign book will be two separate books, but packaged together is the intention. So, you know, if you want to go and play a campaign at your friend's house, you don't.
But we've seen the
We don't know.
content page.
Yes, yeah. As was quite accurately pointed out yesterday, though, it's relatively easy to create a contents page. But, you know, the contents to go along with the contents page is done and laid out. And I think a few people have been having a look at it for proofreading and making sure, you know, to the best of everyone's ability that it's a polished product. But, yeah, it is coming, you know. We said for years that a new website is coming. It's arrived, so.
He's always right eventually.
Yeah. Broke clocks right twice a day. Anyone else? Not campaign book related questions.
Right. Old models like the Atsuko villager things that are the ones
that 'cause she's
are
metal?
hard to get hold of anyway. Are they going to be like re-released or anything like that? Because I know Akusa was redone, Master Akusa.
Some models, if they get resculpts, they'll obviously get a new release. But currently, there's no models in the game that retire other than Mikio. I don't know if you played first edition, was it second? I don't know, whatever. But Mikio's the only model, and the original Biku sculpt, but she got a new sculpt anyway. But so long-winded question. You can currently get every model Bushido's ever made still, so nothing's out of out of production currently, other than those two. But some models will get resculpts as and when we have the capability to do that.
What's the next model that's going to get alternative sculpt?
The next model that's going to get an alternative.
Yeah, sort of like the retainer, like we've got.
So. Which obviously Alex didn't want to talk about the campaign book anymore. So for the for the campaign book, there's going to be like an incentive to buy early, and what we're probably going to do with that, because it's a big outlay for us in terms of capital, we're probably going to run it on a pre-order system. So we'll put it on a pre-order, so we can gauge volume. Obviously that helps us gauge how much interest there is in it, and also means we don't have an extra 10,000 books sitting in the lockup. Do you know what I mean? So
That's the steam forged plastic gills problem.
maybe, yeah. So one of the campaign models, I don't know if anyone's followed along, but part of the campaign system is you'll be able to develop a model from game to game. And the idea is that with that pre-order, we'll have a limited version of one of those models. So you'll only get that one if you pre-order the book. So that will be the next limited one.
The hand-eye guy, or?
No, it's the I don't know if have you seen him? It's the rat guy. No, the prince. Roland. I forget his name. He does have a name now, but I can't remember what that is. But he's Roland. He will always be Roland now. But it's a Roland guy that has the alternative one. The other two will just be general release models.
But those are the ones that should be coming on closest to the release of the campaign book. There's going to be the hand-eye crazy creature thing, swamp monster, and the Imperial Prince. And those should cover most factions. So whatever you're playing, you've got a hero model you can use, and that'll get you by until your faction one comes out. Roland is obviously just for cult. And he's coming out because we're doing rats at the moment, and rats are cool.
The retainer model that you were asking this will be an unreleased model yet, but it's for Golden Sentinels. No, it's not a Golden Sentinel, is it? It's Golden Legion. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, go on, Matt.
I feel like I might have seen something about this, but I thought I'd ask just to get a confirmation. Are you planning to do dice for Kinshi or horses?
Yes, and yes, and spiders, because we're missing all three. So, yeah, again, it's like to be honest, it's a production problem, because when we did the original dice sets, we ordered them and they managed to put it all in one order. So it meant per unit was reasonable. If, as a gauge, the dice, I think, what do we sell them, like $12.95 or something like that? We make like minimal amounts on them, to be very honest. We almost give the dice away. That's how expensive they cost us to produce. And if we just produce in the same method just for one faction, it would, we'd have to sell them at $30, which, no one's going to pay $30 for, 6 dice or whatever. So, factions to make it justifiable. Yeah. So we're at a point now where with the 3 we could potentially do that. Yeah. Horse Lords and Kinshi. Yeah. There isn't a Ronin dice pack, no. Well, technically you can't play the Ronin, can you? So you play in a faction. Although some people, but either way, I suppose you could do, that's, it's kind of about the theory about the what's Hiroto's, the Brotherhood box set, there's like an internal debate as why it doesn't sell as well as the other box sets, because it's in a brown box. It's like, no one's the brown box.
I was gonna buy it, and then Hiroto isn't working for Temple
anymore.
Because Elvis' brother doesn't bring his friend in.
So
we never should have.
Yes, we will get those dice, Matt. Is the question? Yeah. Yes, it's a long way to get there. But cool.
Any more? Any more for any more? Going once?
Go on.
Oh, Rich, come on.
I just caught up with what you said.
There's a few traits, Adept, Mantra, and Mental, I think the ones that spring to mind, which don't get used that much. Is the reason for this, or they just...
Adept is rubbish, and Mantra and Metal are really good. Is basically it.
Say that after just giving it to Oni. Never gave it, it's crap.
So Adept is good when you can have a massive amount of dice. So it's good with Oni because they can now have a massive amount of dice. Sorry?
Adept is a win more.
Yeah.
If I'm able to take advantage of Adept, I'm already winning this fight or whatever.
Well, the thing, if you've got 5 dice, say, but you've not got any brutal or feint, you're still probably getting 8, and your opponent can roll 8 on 3 dice. So you're not really doing anything good. So Adept is good for that kind of thing. But it's only good if you have a lot of dice, or if you can buy more dice, which means you've got a lot of resources anyway, so you probably have other options to do. It is a useful thing to have, but it's less useful for melee. It's more useful for other kinds of tests, I think. Metal and whatever the other one was, Mantra, those are just really good traits. Those like unblockable. The same reason you don't see a lot of unblockable. But so we restrict those for the dragons have metal, I think, so it's rare because it's really good. Same with unblockable. I don't know. Does anybody have Mantra? It's one we can get rid of. Yeah. So it does make sense. All he does is sing. So that's the main reason. We'll when we put them in, if you played the play test for the new edition, for the current edition, when we were doing it, monks all had Kata and Adept, and it turned out that was quite good.
Do you ever think about changing the traits or adapting them? Because if some of them are too good and some of them are too weak, could you tweak the rules? Is that just too much work plus all the...
No, I think it's an advantage to have traits that are better than others. So, like, Feint is a bit better than Brutal. It does work differently, but it's good to have that, and just for that Unblockable is better than both. So it's good to have that progression where you can say, this guy is better than this guy, so he's having unblockable, whereas he's only got brutal. So I think it's preferable to have traits that are of different power levels, but it just turns out that the ones at the edges of the curve are used less.
Politician. That's not what he asked, eh? You just
Would you bring those ones at the out of the curve more in? More diversity?
Yeah, no. I think it's preferable to have it as it is than to standardise them all.
Okay. That's breadth, not depth.
Do you have any roadmap for a new edition, or how long do you think will be in this edition for, or what things would need to be for there to be a change into a new edition?
So we've just done a refresh of the rulebook. I don't know when we did it.
Last quarter.
But yeah, so we've just done a new rulebook which has got all the errata in it, apart from one line. And we are now we're redoing all the cards with the errata, so that there'll be soft copies at least, and eventually, as we use them and order more, those cards will be put into the blisters. So we've essentially done a sort of not a new edition, but a soft refresh of everything to bring everything up to date. So that should last quite a while. I don't think we need to force a new edition on people when we've got everything just to the point.
Every 3 years,
no, is the short answer for a lot of logistics reasons, which I could go into, but
so
it's quite boring.
We didn't last time, but we can ask Gordon.
What was that? Sorry, I missed that.
They're asking about if we can do faction packs of the cards that were errated.
Again, no.
No.
And again, for some logistic reasons that sound crazy, but if you had to deal with them, you'd understand. It's all about a cost implement for one, for us. When we order cards, as an example, in order to make them as cost effective, no one wants to pay £1 for in fact, I'll take that back. People do pay £1 for a card, but
well, they don't want to.
No, they don't want to.
No, I love to.
But people do. But
like playing with home
but
and I'll buy a single card from you for £1 every day.
The problem being is that we order them in large volume, and so if a card gets errated, we end up
with excess.
Yeah, excess cards that we can't, we bin, which is then a cost, which means ordering the volume doesn't make sense in the first place.
They're all available online and they're all updated.
Yeah, they are. And
but if you play test properly, you never need to errata.
That's a myth anyway, though. To be fair, because you can only play test to what's in front of you anyway. So as soon as you've got another release,
I'm on the notice that.
Yeah, that's irrelevant anyway. But the short answer is no. And why I specifically didn't want to do card packs, it creates two versions of the card that GCT are supplying, and then it just creates confusion with what you're getting. Do you know what I mean?
You buy a blister, there's a card in the blister, but there's a card in the pack.
Yeah, precisely. That would be different. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of logistics reasons against it, but yeah.
I can't ever throw my cards away, so I just got tons and tons of cards throughout the
That's a you problem.
That's a me problem. But
I think overall, the mantra is, though, sort of coming back to the new edition, is sort of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And we
on that, are there any rules that are currently being looked at in this edition that you feel need to be adjusted or changed? Like one that I've heard people talking about is the range damage chart, and about how bigger models, whenever it comes to actually being damaged, get very heavily penalised, and that doesn't feel thematic for a lot of people that play the shows and those bigger models.
Yeah, I don't know if you were around for the was it last year we did that one? Yeah, last year in the January errata we tried a different modifier system for ranged work.
I played like discus throwers and many more. The only players in the group that hate me.
Yeah, so we did. We did. Yeah,
very sharp dinner plates.
We did try a system where instead of changing the target number, you just got extra dice, which meant that because it caps out at 2 supporting dice, it wasn't as bad as it is now. So yeah, there's a lot of things that we look at and we sort of evaluate whether that's something that we could put in as a change or whether that requires a new edition. And people decided that we'd probably have to look at every ranged model in the game if we did that.
And are there rules outside of that you're looking at that you feel need to be adjusted or tweaked? Or are you fairly happy with the majority of the standard rules in the games and things that happen for every faction?
There's definitely things that I look at and think we could have done that differently, but I think it's working okay as it is. If we find something that needs to be fixed, we'll fix it. But I don't want to change it just because I think we could have done it a little bit better at this point, because people like their books to be correct and like people not to change the rules every year, so that you have to get used to a whole new rule set.
I know that the Consequences cycle deck was a bit of sort of, we're going to be selling this to see if it's worthwhile to continue producing them. So I know Weeping Sky didn't sell particularly well from what I've understood, and there was kind of like, is it worth you guys doing this? I know it might be a bit early days, but have you found that Consequences is selling okay? Is it something that's giving you any more or less
feedback of it?
confidence in
100%, to be honest. It's a stark contrast, and there could be multiple reasons for that. So we can only obviously look at sales data on it.
Yeah.
When did Consequences come out? That's like just before Christmas, yeah. We have sold more of the Consequences deck since then than we've sold of Weeping Sky. So, I mean, that's the stark difference. And you know, in fairness, we're not making money as we're making money as a company to run the company, but we're not getting rich, let's be clear, you know. So it's not, ultimately it needs to be a financial incentive in order for that development to work to be done, do you know what I mean? And showing that Weeping Sky, like I said, sales were terrible, and that's because it was made available immediately, you know. And a lot of people, I don't think they quite appreciate, you know, the kind of the margins that exist on miniatures. And I'm not just talking from our company, generally within the miniatures industry. You know, if you're a small company, margins are tight. And so, you know, if we sell, you know, and it's, again, volume. You know, if we can order 5,000 sets, the unit price becomes cheaper. But if we, as we are now, sitting with thousands of Weeping Sky sets in the office, you know, because they didn't sell, you know, that's money we could have used elsewhere, you know, resculpts or whatever the case, do you know what I mean? Better videos for the previews or whatever, do you know what I mean? I don't know, but whatever, do you know.
I worked hard on that today, Gordon. I worked hard.
Great, it was fantastic, you know.
Like Consequences brought in quite a lot of things that revitalised a few models.
Yeah,
and I think it generated, like, as the cycle decks often do, they generate a lot of new
ideas from it. I mean,
they're a really nice way to shake up the game and more regularly than like an edition change.
For sure, yeah.
There are a different way of changing things like the Iron Wheel or
etc. Yeah.
They really change a model fundamentally without.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
I would think that a cycle deck doesn't have to pay for itself, because it pays for itself by selling miniatures. You'd never sell without.
I agree. There's
deck or the meta shake up it provides.
Being a bait and switch for let's make a bad model good.
Not necessarily.
No, that seems very underhanded anyway. But but yeah.
A model that is underperforming, perform how we want it to.
Yeah, that's a better term. Yeah. Well said. You're quite right though. Which I did start off by saying there's a lot of reasons why the two decks may have sold differently regardless, and we can't quite quantify the difference that makes, you know, having a cycle deck. You know, people buy it, people play with it or whatever. You know, it's difficult to quantify, you know, did customer A buy this model because there was a cycle deck, or did they buy this model because this is the model they wanted to buy? And there's no way to quantify those two to each other. If there was a way to do it, I'm sure someone would probably have some super data analyst or something could do it, but obviously it's far beyond my capabilities to do that. Yes.
So Consequences are selling well. Will they keep the prize for designing the card for second and third?
That's a Jason question, but I mean, I'm favour for that. I think the more we can involve everyone, it becomes everyone's game. Everyone's excited and interested about it. So I'm a champion of it, but Jason unfortunately has to deal with with the design.
Yeah, if we do, if we're going to do another cycle deck, then that will be part of it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to start the prize up again until we've absolutely decided there will be another cycle deck.
Nice for mastery in that one.
Gordon, is there any plans to release busts for each faction of figure within the faction for a painter skill
The
bust or something like that?
yes is the answer, but it will take a while. Currently, we give a bust away each year of an existing model that's for painting prizes or whatever. So the idea, I think, we'll work through the factions. Currently, the idea is that those older ones, as they're no longer, because it's only for a year, then we'll probably look to make those busts available retail. Yeah.
How many have we got so far? Is it three?
Three. This is three now, so this is the third one, which is my favourite. But
Jason, which one's this one? Damage
it's,
table. Is there a
yeah. So what's the herald out of the Savage Wave starter? I can't remember his name, but yeah.
purely because you can roll 6, 7, 8, and I believe there's a card now for you can get plus roll 3, takes you up to 11 on the damage table, but it only stops at 10. Is there a view on that?
You mean like using the alternate one where it's just plus?
Well, you can roll 6, 7, 8 on that, and you've got a model that can get brutal 3, so it takes you to 11. But damage table stops at 10.
No, I think it's better stopping where it is. Because
It's like
if
you can't do enough damage at 10, eh? I mean,
Yeah,
even a double one, I think, kills pretty much everything green.
You've got a card that you can roll well.
Yeah.
You can
get
you
to
can
there.
get to 11 and James has proved
no, the damage table has to stop because otherwise you'd be able to one-shot a Minamoto with just a scratch, and that's not allowed.
Yeah. Ban. That's forbidden. I'm just checking.
Yeah.
All the people, Gavin, I would expect you to not want that to happen.
No, I don't, but I'm just checking.
Well, don't give like this.
This model dies in the next game immediately.
Yes, it is.
Would anyone use Mosh Pit ever on a model? And if so,
Why?
how and why?
The push attack.
Yeah, for two.
Yeah, it's only in it for Oni. For Onisho.
Onisho.
So you can. The problem is if you have aggressive models,
Yeah.
I can try to stop the game by trying to kill myself against you. And if I give you a push attack, there's a way out for you.
Maria's forced me to draw with her 3 times by making me kill her.
It's the only reason why this card is in the deck.
Should have just been
to
tougher.
give you an out to not have to kill the opponent, which I tried today, but my stupid cowardly village militia wouldn't just go into the Onisho. So I couldn't kill myself. But if someone tries it, you can use Mosh Pit to just push them away.
Okay.
It's very thematic. Eh?
Genuinely, a brilliant addition. I played a lot of Ring of Fire, and it's so annoying to get a point ahead. Your opponent
Yeah,
gets
sorry,
a point, and
Mutes,
they go, I'm gonna make you kill me now. You're gonna end the game. It's just been a
Do you have any idea on when you plan to release the full electronic cards? Because I mean, I understand all the sales stuff. It's just I'm thinking about lists on the go. I have my phone, but my card pack is at home.
Yeah.
And it's really annoying when you're checking lists for the tournament stuff.
Yeah.
Like for this tournament here. Bundler sent me a bunch of lists and said, can you help me check them? Half of them had some consequences card in it. I can check the rice cost on the go,
Yeah,
but
but
I have no idea even about the restrictions, requirements,
etc., etc. Yeah.
So it's very annoying.
So I don't know when, but when we talked about this, the idea was that we were releasing it when we did, so that it wouldn't overlap with any of the major tournaments, and it's just gone a little bit further. So it should be soon, but it was supposed to be before this one, so that we would have them for this, but we just haven't done it yet.
So we're talking weeks, not months.
Yeah.
If you did another cycle deck, then could you, when you print the rice cost and any restrictions, so at least when it comes to like
This checking
checking it over, because if you're like going over your list and you're like, oh, all my cards are in my bag in the house, and I want to check if this list is legal. If you're going through and you're like, oh, I put this in here, it's not legal. So
Right.
take that out.
Well, it's your list. Just take the cards out of the bag and check. Like, it's up to you.
Yeah, we'll take that. Potentially, we'll do that. Yeah.
Can you release
They're in the house.
go into my bag.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Great.
The thing is, when people see the digital releases that have been like,
If you didn't see, that's the third bus
they'll be like,
for painters.
Yeah.
so I think you'll just get more.
It's not just the model. That's
Yeah, I do like.
he's a big lad, and he's got his ear as well.
Yeah, most people they agree with this. But generally speaking, the silent majority.
What about the Dungeon Crawler board game? Is there any development on that?
Yes.
Yes, so it's now officially behind schedule because I was going to have a demo version here.
We're behind on something.
Unheard of.
Yeah, it's the first. But no, I'm going to have a version here, and I was going to demo it tonight. But the cards I'd handwritten, and nobody could read them. So I got somebody to print some off, and they came back, and you couldn't read them either. So I think.
The feature of the game. Or?
Yes, that's. You have to decipher the cards to be able to use them.
You're in the dark. You're in the dark. Everything's dark.
So if you haven't heard it, we are there is a planned Bushido world set dungeon crawl. It's going to be various characters going into the first bit of it is going into the Bakemono tunnels for some reason, which I will have stories and things. Sorry.
We're going to get Koyama's arm.
It's what they're looking for, yeah. But it's going to be elements of traditional dungeon crawls, but harking back to Rise of the Kage, there's going to be a big stealth element to it as well. So obviously, if you take the Minamoto Samurai, you're not stealthing anywhere. But if you choose the right characters, if you take like the Silver Moon Thug and a ninja and a monk, that kind of thing, you could do the whole thing without fighting any of the little bad guys until you get to the boss. Sorry?
It's still stealthy if everyone else is dead.
Or you could take like eldest brother, a Minamoto Samurai, and Toshiro, and just wipe everybody out. And that's a kind of stealth all of its own. It's.
If you take eldest brother, can Hiroto come with him, or? Is
Not if you've taken temple models now.
Well, yeah, it's. I'm still. I think we will have it at Adepticon.
Eldest brother can't play for Minamoto.
Sorry.
Eldest brother can't play for Minamoto.
No, but they can go and hang out in a tunnel and kill Bakemono.
Okay, but can you not just fix that quickly now? It's so easy to put it on the card. There's so much space at the top.
So yeah, that's definitely going on. That's a number of we've sort of been looking at a number of other non-Bushido things which we're doing. So obviously there's Goat Song as well, which
Throat Goat.
Some of you have seen. What goat? What?
Throat Goat.
Okay.
Google it. Google it.
No. My Google won't show that.
No.
I've got clean Google.
Is the resin changing to make it less brittle?
Yes. Yeah.
Or is the sculpting changing to make the things less dangly?
No, I don't. Yeah, it's a compromise, I guess, like kind of a balance between the two. But we are working on some other resins currently, like soon, hopefully. So they'll go out to a few select people that will going to test them for us. Put some paint on them or whatever the case would be, and depending on the feedback from that, then we'll hopefully be switching to that resin. So it'll be a process, but yeah, we're definitely looking at it. Yeah. Great. Is that it? Yeah.
Any more? For any more? Going once. We're being given the axe.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Hiroto's forearm friend when we're going to see him.
I don't know.
Go on. The next we have this
Hiroto's forearm friend, that's like
Pre-order is mid-February, I believe. Dispatch early March.
Maybe this year, but yeah, maybe.
Who's Hiroto's for?
That's just gone to the alpha tester group, and they were all really happy with it. They had, I think, literally 2 Germans went, "Oh my God, look at this design!" So everybody else was looking at the pretty pictures.
Oh my God!
So yeah, it's. that's where it is in playtesting at the moment. So yeah, soonish.
Great success. We'll end the official Q&A here, but if you've got any other questions, yeah. Thank you very much.